We took it all. We brought them to our land. An endless night, ember hot and icy cold. The rage of the earth. We made this curse. Carved it in the blood on our backs. We did not see. We could not, but she did. And in the end...
What will I become?
Senua's Saga. Hellblade 2.
Play it now with Game Pass.
Hey everyone, welcome to this edition of Keep Watch Pass on the It's Not That Bad podcast channel, a proud member of the Pantheon Podcast Network. Now, there are a few actors that I can sit there and say, whenever they're going to be on the screen, you're pretty much guaranteed a good time, no matter the movie. This might be one of those exceptions because we are talking about the one and only Bill Murray. And here to join me to go down the road paved by Mr. Bill Murray himself, my lovely wife, Carrie. Carrie, how are you doing today?
Yeah, I'm doing great. How are you?
I am good. Okay, so when we were coming up with Keep Watch Pass topics and we came up with movies starring Bill Murray, did you squee a little bit?
Oh, you know what? Every single time I see Bill Murray, even if it's just a cameo appearance, he just makes me smile. Like there's just something about he just has kind eyes and just that smile that it's contagious. You just can't help but smile.
And apparently a very good golfer too.
Well, if Caddyshack had anything.
Well, the thing is, he's actually been in a number of pro-ams. And the funny thing is, anytime he's at a pro-am, and I say this having covered a number of golfing events, it was always fun to do those pro-ams because he was going to do something that was going to make your highlight pack because he was just being so fun and goofy. And it always worked. And it's always appreciated. So Bill Murray made my job easy every now and then at the pro-ams. But now we're about to go down his filmography road and pick 3 movies each, a keep, a watch, and a pass. The keep is one that we hold in high regard. The watch is one that, you know what, if it's on, even with commercials, yeah, I'm in. And then the pass is one that may not be just for him, but the movie we would pass on. Not necessarily him, but the movie we would pass on. So, Carrie, I'm going to start with you. What is your keep movie starring Bill Murray?
Well, if you know, you know. And Mr. Murray has provided me with a yearly tradition. It's not Christmas around the house without a cold glass of eggnog, surrounded by gifts to wrap, and Scrooged on the television.
This is one of those times where people are going to start to wonder what we're on, because like we are those ones who we like our Christmas tradition would be like watching movies like, you know, Violent Santa or something like that, like
the ref.
Right? But that's the thing, like Scrooged, while still being that traditional Christmas Carol type film, is so not tongue-in-cheek and, you know, not necessarily sarcastic, but I keep thinking of like the trailer he was making for like the Christmas film, and it's like, you know, death, destruction, nuclear war. It's like, yes.
Oh, lumpy.
Oh, lumpy. And that's the thing too, like a little inside baseball on this one. The number of times Carrie or I have called each other lumpy, it's unhealthy, but it's still kind of funny.
This, you know what though? It's the modern telling of the Charles Dickens classic. But you know what? It makes it so damn fun to watch. And how many times has it been redone? Like A Carol Christmas or any given...
The fact that you start with A Carol Christmas, you know, not Mickey's Christmas Carol, not Muppet's Christmas Carol. You went for frickin' Tori Spelling and A Carol Christmas.
I'm talking about modernization of the classic story, though.
But you started with Tori Spelling.
Well, yeah.
That's not good. It's not good there, Lumpy. Oh boy, oh boy. Like that's this close to a Hallmark film. which I'm surprised if it isn't.
I think it is.
It might just very well be. But no, Scrooge is very much a Christmas tradition around the house. And like Carrie is meticulous when it comes to like, she has a pattern. She has like her like routine. And it's literally like if the eggnog isn't there and Scrooge isn't on, Christmas ain't happening.
Nobody gets anything for Christmas.
That's right.
And it sure wouldn't be wrapped.
You think that's a lump of coal? No, she's been saving that dump for a while. It's yours. Should have brought the eggnog. It was funny. I didn't pick Scrooged for any of my picks whatsoever, despite that it's kind of like our family tradition here. I ended up going with a movie that can only be described as the best commercial for Twinkies that could ever exist. I'm going with Zombieland. Like, A, funny as hell. B, one of the few times I can actually stand Jesse Eisenberg in a performance. 3, Emma Stone in this is fantastic. Woody Harrelson. Freaking Woody Harrelson.
But that's the thing. To me, it's more of a Woody Harrelson movie than a Bill Murray movie.
I get very much that Bill Murray's appearance in this is just a cameo.
I'm thinking Bill Murray and zombies. And
no, not yet. But
nope.
But the thing is, if anyone were to ask you about Zombieland, the Bill Murray cameo is going to be in everybody's description. This is the best cameo I could think of in a long time. That's even putting aside all the Stan Lee cameos in the Marvel films. The Bill Murray cameo in Zombieland, to me, makes this as much of a Bill Murray film as anyone else in the cast. The only other film I could sit there and say was made by a cameo, and really, Zombieland, take the Bill Murray cameo out of the film, and I don't think it's as funny, because that is one of the funniest moments in the film. The only other film that I could say was made by a cameo is The Adventures of Baron Munchausen. You've never seen it. I can tell by the look on your face you've never seen it. But the thing is, the movie itself, it's okay until they get to the moon and they meet the King of the Moon, as played by a very horny Robin Williams. At least the head of the King of the Moon is played by Robin Williams. Not listed in the credits. It's a complete uncredited cameo. It is like you watch the movie to get to that scene and the rest of the movie doesn't matter. That's how good the Robin Williams cameo is in that film. I would say that this cameo, the Bill Murray cameo in Zombieland, is as important to how good the film is as that Robin Williams cameo is in The Adventures of Baron von Munchausen.
We took it all. We brought them to our land. An endless night, ember hot and icy cold. The rage of the earth. We made this curse. Carved it in the blood on our backs. We did not see. We could not, but she did. And in the end,
What will I become? Senua's Saga. Hellblade 2.
Play it now with Game Pass.
For my watch film, I'm going tonally different. And I'm going with a film that's Bill Murray in a more serious role. I'm going with Lost in Translation. Scarlett Johansson in Japan, Bill Murray, the two very lost souls, basically stuck in a hotel for an extended amount of time. Like, this film, it's so, for lack of a better term, phone boothed. It's all told in a very small postage stamp type setting. And I mean, we still don't know what Bill Murray whispered to Scarlett Johansson at the end of the film. We don't know. And I'm glad that it was never revealed. There's a lot to the dynamics between the two actors in this. It's a slow burn, but it's a phenomenal film.
I don't think I've ever seen it.
Oh, then you should change that then.
I think I should. Now I'm intrigued.
Time to. It is, honestly, I think it's one of Bill Murray's better dramatic roles.
But that's the thing. He can do dramatic. And even in his dramatic roles, there's always that one point where he makes you at least smile.
Yeah. And I think that's part of the problem too, is that there are some actors that are so renowned for their comedic work that the minute they step into a dramatic role, it takes you a bit to acclimatize yourself to the fact that they're stretching their wings. Jim Carrey's the perfect example, right? It took Man on the Moon for people to really take Jim Carrey as a serious actor, because anything else that he did that was more in a serious vein and not in a Jim Carrey's going to be a goofy elastic clown on screen, people just weren't buying. Like the number 23? No. People aren't buying that. They bought him in The Man on the Moon, maybe because he was doing the real life story of comedian Andy Kaufman. So maybe that's a bit more of a natural fit. This role in Lost in Translation is not what you would expect out of a Bill Murray performance. You expect him to be funny in like Scrooge. You expect him to be funny in Ghostbusters. Like all the movies in his filmography. Caddyshack, perfect example, right? This is not that. This is Bill Murray playing an actor who is taking these jobs in Japan because that's what's paying the bills, and he's kind of at a lost point of his life and career. And it's a very inner performance for him, and was heralded, I think, very properly for his performance.
And when you think about it, I mean, that's acting, right?
Yeah.
Is that it's so sad that actors like Tom Hanks, you expect to see the comedy, but when he plays a completely serious role, it's like, wait, whoa.
See,
why?
Tom Hanks was able to pull it off, though. I mean, yes, there were things like Big and, lighter fare, like a You've Got Mail, right? Or a Sleepless in Seattle, or Dragnet, if you're talking about comedy films. But then Forrest Gump comes out, right? And people are like, oh, wait, he can do serious. The thing with Tom Hanks, though, even in Big, even though that was a lighter fare, a bit of a fun movie, there was still like really deep acting going on in his eyes in those scenes. Like, he was conveying a lot of emotion in that character, despite it being, or at least what could have been, lighter, fluffy 80s fare. But yeah, once you start doing things like Forrest Gump and Saving Private Ryan and Apollo 13, like, you have so many different facets to Tom Hanks acting. Bill Murray is there too. I just don't think Bill Murray gets the accolades for his serious acting. All right, over to you, Carrie. What's your watch film?
Oh, any chance I get, I'm watching Ghostbusters, and watching it specifically for Peter Venkman.
I assume you're talking the first one.
My favorite Ghostbuster.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because, I mean, Ghostbusters has been the property that has pretty much tried it all. They've gone from, the classic lineup to an all-female cast of Ghostbusters, to let's bring on the younger generation where we're now at. And as far as like, not necessarily cameo performance, but bringing it back, when that scene in the Frozen Empire,
yeah,
with Bill Murray coming back and almost replaying his Dr. Peter Venkman
Tall, Dark, and Horny at 12 o'clock
scene. I mean, no, I like, yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So fantastic.
I mean,
I didn't want to ruin too much, but
clearly
watch it.
Clearly the first that scene was in the trailer, right? So clearly the first Ghostbusters is hard to beat. And there's another thing too, is like every movie that's going to come out with the word Ghostbusters on it is going to be, compared to that original. Even Ghostbusters 2, right? With Vigo. No. It all goes back to that very first Ghostbusters. And that just goes to show, like, think about it. I think that film came out, what was it, 1984? Like, that's 40 years ago. 40. Feeling
and
old yet?
Just as good 40 years later.
Yes.
And I absolutely love that it's a property that we can bring our boys to.
Yeah.
That it's, they haven't made it scarier. I mean, sure, there's ghosts, but it's funny. Like, you can't help but laugh at Slimer.
Yeah. But there's the thing. They didn't kiddie friendly it. Like there's still some creepy moments in this. There's still like the ghosts are still big and bad. I think that was the problem with Ghostbusters Answer the Call, is that it almost made it too goofy, whereas the original was still like, what was a family movie in the 80s is definitely not a family movie in 2024, which is funny as hell. Frozen Empire, I think, kind of parallels the same level as the very first film as far as an appropriateness for kids kind of thing, and I have no problem with that. You don't have to dumb things down for kids. You don't have to goofball it up. Make the film. Make the film that the film needs to be made.
And I do love the little mini State Puff marshmallow.
Okay, those things are cute and creepy at the same time.
Aren't they so cute? Like, they're adorable.
Okay, which would you rather do? Have one as a pet or roast one over the open fire and listen to it scream?
Oh, delicious fire roasted marshmallows.
Yeah, living schmoes.
But they make such a, like, they don't lie about it. They're like, we are delicious when we're toasted over fire. They make a point of burning themselves.
Horrific torture. Horrific.
All for a laugh.
There are multiple war crimes being committed on those little things, and that's okay. All right, your pass film for movies starring Bill Murray.
I actually had two written down. I had a tie.
Oh,
but in keeping with my yearly tradition of watching Scrooged every Christmas, Bill Murray, Mr. Bill Murray.
I know where this is going.
Also came out with A Very Murray Christmas. And I ask you, sir, why? Why did the world really need this? Whatever it is, I'm not even sure if it was meant to be a joke that just went too far. And I tried to watch it, and I found myself going midway through, like, what the hell am I watching and why? And it has, tons of celebrity cameos, but why? Did the world need that? I don't think so. We didn't need it.
I have tried to say over the years that just because a film is straight to streaming doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be a bad film. But you sure as hell make it tough to make that argument, Bill Murray, when you put out something like this. I'm like, I can't disagree with that pick. Like, normally there are times when you'll pick a pass. I'll be like, well, is it really a pass? Or vice versa, right? You'll pick a keep. I'll be like, well, is it really that good? No. This sucked.
This one was a pass.
Like, this was a paycheck. It felt like a paycheck. And I don't know what nostalgia they were going for. I don't know what vibe they were trying to lean in on, but it feels like a vanity project that didn't need to be. And it's unfortunate because you're right. Scrooged is our Christmas tradition. And now we have a new Christmas tradition in not watching A Very Murray Christmas.
Right. And another one I had mentioned, I had two, and it's a tie, but definitely A Very Murray Christmas has got to win. But I also didn't get The Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou.
See, this is one of those times when I'm going to disagree with you on this one.
I knew you would, so that's why I'm mentioning it.
So,
next.
and I preface this with saying I'm not the biggest Wes Anderson fan. Like, not many of his films really hit with me. I'm not a fan of his writing style. Maybe it's because I'm not a fan of his filming style. I don't get it. But for some reason, The Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou was quirky enough. And maybe it's because it's the first Wes Anderson film I ever saw. So it was different and like, okay, this is kind of quirky and I can get behind it. And there's moments where Bill Murray kind of shines in it, where the weird electronic boppy music is playing and he just starts dancing like very oddly. And like there's moments where I get it, but then once you realize that, oh, every Wes Anderson film is going to look like this, and then I'm like, I'm out. And I am curious to try Asteroid City. I am curious to try that, but it's just not my cup of tea, his film style. So I get it. The Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou, to me, is the least smelly turd in the bowl when it comes to Wes Anderson films. And again, personal opinion, if you're a Wes Anderson fan, be a Wes Anderson fan. Nothing I say should matter to anyone else's opinion on the internet. Make your own choice. I'm just saying Wes Anderson's not my cup of tea. Although, that being said, there is a hilarious video. Someone did like a parody video on if Star Wars was done by Wes Anderson, and it's brilliant. They perfectly nailed the tonality of what a Wes Anderson film should be shot like. And I think it's AI generated, but it's hilarious. So if you can find Star Wars as directed by Wes Anderson, that's worth a 2-minute watch. You go ahead. I tried. I tried. I didn't want to be Captain Obvious with my pass. But sometimes trauma stays. And sometimes I need to talk this out. It's like therapy. So, dear listeners, just know that you listening to me is something that I should probably be paying for. So, bear with me here. Was The Dead Don't Die.
Get your Snickers ready.
I have never wanted to walk out of a theater so much than The Dead Don't Die. The trailer looked fun and quirky. I'm curious, and I need to go back and research this. I'm curious if The Dead Don't Die was nominated for the Golden Fleece Award at the Golden Schmoes that year, if there was a Golden Fleece Award. The Golden Fleece Award is the award for the trailer that makes a bad movie look good. This would have been a contender if that award was handed out that year, because holy crap, this film, and I don't think the film knows what it wanted to be. Like, is it meta? Is it not? Is it like, I'm so mad at this film. I'm so mad at this film.
Still angry with me for buying tickets.
I'm not angry with you. I've forgiven you, but
it was the popcorn.
No. The gut rot made from the popcorn felt better than watching this film. And again, maybe it's the same thing with Wes Anderson films. Like I think it's Jim Jarmusch who put this together. I'm just like, maybe I just don't get his writing style. Maybe I just don't. But the film did nothing for me. There is one performance in this film that if we ever had to do and It's Not That Bad on The Dead Don't Die, and dear listeners, please, if you love me at all, if you value my sanity, don't ask for an episode of The Dead Don't Die. I don't know if I'm going to make it through. But that being said, I could still find an MVP, and unfortunately, it's not Bill Murray. It's not. Like, this film was a waste of a good Bill Murray. Like, this takes, like, that somber kind of Bill Murray kind of tone that he has in some characters and, like, amplifies it. And it's just like, does anyone want to be in this film? Because it doesn't feel like anyone wants to be in this film. And like, is it just me? Because, I mean, you were in the same theater too. You were there. Are you feeling the same hurt that I am?
Well, I don't dislike it as vehemently as you do. I mean, I just found that it was a really slow burn. I found personally that I was watching it hoping for more. I was hoping, like, I was just watching the entire time waiting for the Bill Murray comedy.
Yeah.
Or
it wasn't funny. Adam Driver, you know.
Like they had every opportunity to make this movie enjoyable. And yet it just didn't happen. It fell flat. Yeah. And yet, I mean, I don't get as agitated when I talk about it.
Here's the thing.
I didn't hate it.
This film has a 55% tomatometer. 55. And I'm sitting there thinking, it's not that good.
This from the It's Not That Bad podcast.
The audience score is 38%. So the audience is more on my side. And even then I'm sitting there saying, it's not that good. Like, it really did not hit at all for me, which is a shame because it does have a fantastic cast that is capable of so much more. But the film didn't know what lane it wanted to drive in. And I think that's the thing. There was the potential, the possibility was there. The pieces were there. But the script, and maybe even the soundtrack too. Maybe that's it. Maybe it just needed a bit more life in the soundtrack to bring it up and to add a bit more texture and context to what it was. We were like, first of all, I'm sick and tired of that Sturgill Simpson song that they played multiple times throughout. And then they actually referenced it. They're like, didn't we just hear the song? Yeah, it's the Dead Don't Die by Sturgill Simpson's the name of the film. It's like, okay, so the film is meta, but then they never go back to that. Like, yeah.
You can send your Snickers care of It's Not That Bad.
Well, thank you, dear listeners. Our hour is up. We'll see you next week. I think that's what a lot of these podcasts are for. I think this is just literally a therapy session for some people to talk about the films that give them the blood pressure problems like this one does for me. Like, it's.
Do you feel okay?
I'm feeling a little better now. Yeah.
Whew.
Yeah. Like, I feel
it's
like
good to get it out.
I can go on with my week. We're good. Next week, we'll just come up with another topic so I can bitch about The Dead Don't Die, and then I'll feel better about myself.
What year did this movie come out? Because clearly it hurt you.
It did hurt me.
It hurt you bad.
It touched me in the no-no spot. That was bad. Oh.
Woo. Anger issues.
I'm not mad at Bill Murray for this.
Are you sure?
I think I'm more mad at Bill Murray for A Very Murray Christmas because that's all on him. There's blame to go around. There's blame to go around. There was one good performance in this film. It's not Bill Murray. That's all I'm going to say because I don't want to go down this road.
Hang on to it in case I drop the gauntlet.
Oh,
can we defend it?
That would be like if I ever wanted to know if Carrie was pissed off at me for some reason or another, it should be like, all right, husband of mine, get down in the basement because we're going to talk about The Dead Don't Die. No!
That would be like torture.
It would be. Like,
I think for me, I'd have to listen to the 2-hour diatribe of why you hated the movie.
Oh.
Ooh.
I don't, at 55%, I don't know if I can defend that film. I don't.
No.
I think it's already given like the pretentious, boost. Like, that's what it is.
I'm quite curious about your only one or
my
your
MVP.
Yeah. I think I know.
Who do you think it is?
I think it's the police officer lady, the older lady.
Nope.
No?
No.
I don't know who the actress was. I'm so sorry.
No. No. It's actually Selena Gomez.
Okay.
Yeah, like she's the one person in this film where I'm like, she knew exactly what her role was in this, and she pulled it off to a T. Everyone else, I think, was just no. It's a shame because Chloe Sevigny, I like her in this, but thank you, Carrie, for joining me for this movie starring Bill Murray. We're getting out of this because I can't talk about The Dead Don't Die anymore because it's going to turn from a therapy session to a rage session, and I don't have my cricket bat. That's how bad it's going to be. Carrie, thank you. Now, please remind our listeners what your keep, watch, and pass films are for movies starring Bill Murray.
All right. Well, definitely not revisiting The Dead Don't Die. I am keeping and watching Scrooged every season. Every December, you can guarantee that I've got my eggnog and my gifts to wrap, and I'm watching Scrooged, and also watching the original Ghostbusters, and passing every season on A Very Murray Christmas.
All right, my keep is Zombieland, my watch is Lost in Translation, and my pass is the movie that shall not be named. Yeah, we're going to Voldemort this crowd.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. This movie is Tom Riddle to me.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's been vaulted.
All right, Carrie, thank you so much. And to you, our listeners, thank you. And you guys know the drill. If there is a topic that you want us to cover on Keep Watch Pass, or a movie, not The Dead Don't Die, that you want us to cover on It's Not That Bad, hit us up on social media at Not That Badcast, or go to our website at notthatbadcast.com. And while you're there, drop us a line. We'd love to hear from you guys. Until next time, she's Carrie, I'm Jay. The Dead Don't Die still sucks. This is Keep Watch Pass on the It's Not That Bad podcast channel, a proud member of the Pantheon Podcast Network. Take care.